Let's Nightfall, episode 15, and this week's Nightfall is the Archon Priest. The modifiers are Epic, Berserk, Small Arms, Chafe, and Match Game. It is a very easy solo this week, so if you had been holding off and hadn't done the last couple Nightfalls, you're lower light, a newer player, you don't have the best guns in the world, I would definitely hop in here because it is a very easy solo this week. As far as weapons go, I'm going with a scout rifle. I would just pick whatever your favorite primary is, though I would suggest leaning towards a scout or a pulse, something that actually has decent amount of range, because you are going to be killing a lot of enemies from deep. Secondary, going with a sniper, just use your favorite or best one. And heavy, I would go with Galahorn, or at least that's what I'm doing, though I will switch to a arc rocket launcher during the boss fight. So if you can bring a heavy, or maybe Zalo if you have it, something that does some arc damage so you can flip over that during the boss fight. So once we get into the cave here, you want to focus on taking out those two snipers right here. These guys are very, very dangerous and very, very annoying. So you want to focus on taking these two snipers out. After we take out the two snipers, we're going to be focusing on taking out a Minotaur that's just down this hill a little bit, and we will see him in a second. As far as subclasses go, I am on my Titan, and I rock hammers pretty much the entire time, though I do switch to Titan Smash for a little part of the boss fight. So we can get a look at the Minotaur. There he is right there, and he will be shielded by a couple goblins that are down there. So just take them out once a shield drops. Use your primary. With small arms on, you'll be able to melt this Minotaur. Warlocks, you can kind of do whatever you want to. I would go with Void Bomb personally, but that's just me. If you are lower light, I would definitely switch to Self-Res for the boss fight, and Titans too. If you are lower light, I would switch to Bubble for the boss fight. Hunters, I would personally do Night Stalker the entire time, but if you want to use something else, Blade Dancer or Golden Gun, then more power to you. I would just suggest Night Stalker. So we took out the Minotaur, and I'm just kind of clearing out these goblins, but you can kind of just run past these dudes. And then you have some annoying scions, and I just said, hey, I don't even want to waste my time. So once you take out the two snipers and the Minotaur, then move up to where those snipers were, where you took them out. There's plenty of cover, and we're going to focus on taking out two more snipers. There are two more snipers up there, or there's a sniper and a little hoop goblin that does the little 3 balls exploding thing right there. I also like to shoot this blight right here up on the 3rd level because that's where we are running, and there will be some scions that spawn right there, so the last thing you want to do is get slowed down. Oh really? He put up his bubble right before that rocket's going to hit him. I'm going to pop my super here to deal with the scions that we will see as we run up the hill. Warlocks, I would use your super or nades or whatever subclass you're using. These scions right here, they'll pop out around this corner. And then hunters, either use your bow, blade dancer, or golden gun to deal with those guys, or you can just simply run past them. But if you do get in trouble, I would just use your super. Hunters, you can also just throw a smoke nade to go invis, or you can go invis with blade dancer if you want to. So if you are going for gold, I would clear out that entire first area as it doesn't really affect your time. I think gold this week is going to be pretty tough to get due to time, not score, because this is a prolonged strike because of the boss fight. So next we're coming to this wide open area. And as you see, you have Taken and you have Fallen fighting each other. So if you want to, if you don't care about gold or your time, you can just hang back. If you're low light, let the enemies go at it for a little bit, and that will help dwindle down the amount of ads that you do have to kill. But this area, or just this strike in general, you're taking stuff out from so far away that you're never really going to put yourself in danger. And that's why I suggested to have a scout rifle on, because you are shooting stuff from so deep. I would suggest to be up on the rocks to my right before I jump down here, or the rocks up on my left, just so you have a more elevated position to get a better view of the enemies that you're shooting. So there's going to be a couple invisible Minotaurs. Those are kind of the dangerous guys, and you are going to have 2 fallen captains with arc shields, but their shields don't really matter, even with match game. Just float a Galahorn rocket, and then you can swap to your primary and finish them off. Now, you do have these snipers right here. Another reason to be up on the rocks so they can't really see you. I'm down here on the ground, so they did get eyes on me. They are also dangerous. There is going to be 3 of them, and they have the little shields, which are super annoying. And what is this? Actually hitting sniper shots. After you take out those snipers on my left here, you can move down this left side if you would like to. Though if you do push way up, like way towards where these enemies are, and they take notice of you, the Minotaurs will come up on this left side area. So just be aware of that. So just stay back, guys. Like I say in every video, kill everything from as far away as possible. If you don't need to put yourself in a situation where you're close to ads, then never put yourself in a situation to be close to ads. So once you clear out the initial wave of ads that are in here, then you're going to have to go dispatch your ghost. Once you do that, you are going to have to clear 2 waves. Now, if you've been around since day 1, this used to be, I believe it was 3 waves in total, but it is 2 waves, and it's going to be taken. It could be randomized. I am not sure. You might not get taken, but either way, you're going to come up to this area or a little to my right. There are rocks to my right as well you can go on. Either way, just be at these elevated positions, because if you're taking damage like I was just doing, just fall back and nothing's going to be able to hit you. You can sit down right here if you wanted to. So for this first little wave, there's going to be a bunch of scions and there's going to be a couple invisible minotaurs. It is very, very easy, guys. Use your primary, your super, your heavy, your rockets, machine gun, whatever you are using, and you will be able to melt these enemies very, very quickly. Again, if you are taking damage, just fall back. The ads down there on that lower level down here, they're only going to be able to hit me when I'm over the edge like this, where they can actually see me. I'm going to go super fast forward here. All I did was clear out that last Minotaur and 2 or 3 Scions, and then the next wave spawned in. Now with this second wave, this is a very dangerous wave. This is the dangerous wave. You are going to have 3 Tortured Vandal snipers over here. They are majors, and they are very dangerous. So be careful. Pop a couple shots off, and then dip behind this rock. So you see, I'm waiting for their bubble, and then I'm doing a couple shots, and then once I see this guy about to snipe, just get behind the rock. Crouch down if you need to. Just make sure that they can't see you. If they can see you, they can hit you. So they are very, very dangerous. So just be aware of them. And there are 3 of them. So if you're not paying attention and you don't have radar on this week, you can have some stupid deaths if you're focused on one and then one slips out behind cover. So along with these snipers, they are very easy to kill, but they are very dangerous. Along with these 3 snipers up here, you will have more ads down on the ground just like the first wave. You will have a couple major Hoobaglubins, and you will also have some just regular goblin guys. And these dudes are this is probably my least favorite enemy, or one of them, man. These guys with their bubbles. Let's just go up and use our super to finish him off. So you will have those 3 sniper guys, which aren't very tough, but again, they're dangerous. So do a couple shots, get to cover, recover, do a couple shots, get to cover, and recover. And you can see the major hobgoblins, and you have the goblins down here as well. There's quite a few of them, but again, they're not very dangerous. The hobgoblins can be dangerous, though, just like the snipers you already took out. Feel free to move up like I'm doing now if you want to. Again, you can kill everything from up on those rocks. There's about 3 different perches along this left side line that you can stand on if you want to. I was using the closest one to kind of this area, but you can go a little further back if you would prefer. Do another super fast forward here. Just took out the last couple ads, grabbed ammo, and away we go. These next 2 parts we are skipping. I would not waste any time doing this at all. It's a complete waste of time. Hop on your Sparrow. When you get to the pikes, you can jump on a pike if you want to, but I would suggest just getting on your Sparrow. Just follow my path, head to the right, head to the right. We are sparrowing past all these enemies. Do not even waste your time. I mean, if you're in a group of 3, then yeah, you can do that if you want to, but I would suggest sparrowing past it. We're going to come to this next area as well, and again, we're going to, or at least I would suggest to sparrow past it. If you want to kill a couple of these enemies to build up your score, you can do that, but I would suggest not wasting your time. I always like to hop off if it is the Taken version of this strike and kill that blight right there, because that is where we are running. And I'm going to head to the left side. Just stick to the left, stick to the left. Once you get here, hop off your Sparrow. Try not to get stuck on it like I did right there. And then we're just hopping up here. And since we took out that blight, you'll be able to easily sprint by. And now we're on to the boss fight, where, like most Nightfalls, the entire Nightfall happens at the boss fight. And this boss fight is prolonged. It definitely is. It used to be arguably the quickest strike to run through. As we take a glimpse at the old spot, if you're from year 1, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the game, you used to just be able to stand up there on that little ledge and melt the boss in a couple minutes and not have to worry about ads at all, except for maybe a sniper here or there. So when we first get in here, you're going to have some Taken fighting Fallen again. If you want them to fight each other, then just hang out. Stay up at the little spot above me to my right and just sit there and let them fight. You know, if you're lower light or you're not worried about time, just let them fight each other and the ads will dwindle down. So you'll have the initial ads that are spawned in, and then you'll have another little spawn of Taken that will spawn with kind of this first initial wave of ads before the boss is even in here. None of the ads are dangerous. You will have a major captain though with a arc shield who can be quite annoying, but he's not very difficult, guys. Use your supers, use your rocket launchers, then switch your primary to finish him off. If your sniper rifle has arc burn on it, use that to take his shield down, then flip to your primary and melt him. I'm going to fast forward here. You're not missing anything. All I did was clear out the rest of the ads. Once you clear out the ads, you'll then need to move towards the little platform there. And once you do that, the Archon Priest will come in and he will spawn in and he will move towards you. I always like to try to get a couple shots. Hopefully you don't suck at sniping like I do. And just do some initial damage on him. Once you do some initial damage, you will hear ads coming in and then bail. Bail back up to this spot right here. And this will be the first wave of ads. First wave of ads is going to be some scions. It's nothing difficult, nothing overwhelming. It is very, very easy. So the ads that are right down in front of me right now, they spawn from the left side and sometimes the middle and right. They will come to you more often than not. Sometimes they won't, but majority of the time they do. So ads spawn all over the place, but you really only have to worry about the front left and in the later waves of ads, a couple snipers, and that is about it. So for this first wave, the Archon Priest, he will be behind this rock to our right, and he just kind of moves about 10 feet left or right, and he'll just kind of move back and forth in this little tiny little area right here. So you're kind of, popping out behind cover, doing some damage, get back to cover. Popping out, doing some damage, get back to cover. The second you start getting hit by him, bail, because he does do a lot of damage. Now, he will get into a spot, and he's about to get into it right now. He's tall enough where you'll be able to see him over this rock, and you won't have to pop out behind cover. You just need to make sure you're against this wall. So I'm trying to force him to get into this little spot right here where you can see him, and it sets up perfectly, and you can't get hit by him. And there we go. He's setting up, and he's pretty much just kind of stuck there, and he's just going to take these shots. So he's still an easy boss. Yes, they tweaked this so you can't go up in that spot anymore, but this is still, like I said, it's a very easy solo regardless. Pretty much any modifiers, it doesn't matter, even if crappy modifiers like exposure and light switch doesn't exist anymore, right? I mean, even if it was the worst modifiers ever, this strike is still super duper easy. And as you see, we're just shooting the boss with our primary. The second you hear ads coming in, bail. That's why I'm bailing back up here. Now for the second wave, you're going to have more Scion spawn, but you're also going to have an invisible Minotaur spawn to your right. Where the boss first spawns in that little circular plate area, that is where the invisible Minotaur is going to be. And they are very dangerous. So you need to take him out as quickly as possible. I'm also taking a look to see where the boss is. I believe the boss is up by the cave. So yeah, he's not to my right. So we're perfectly fine here. So here's the invisible Minotaur. Again, he is dangerous. Scions, like I said, they're going to spawn, or enemies in general with the different waves. They're going to spawn left of the room, right of the room, middle of the room, back in the room, far left of the room. So just be aware of that. The ads in this front left and front right area, they will be the only ads. Sometimes the middle ads will matriculate over here, but predominantly just the left and right ads will push up on you, and those are really the only ads you have to worry about pushing up on you. But all the ads, the other ones, they will kind of stay in their spot. So we took out the invisible Minotaur, and then I wanted to move out to take out the Scions to my right. So the boss isn't on our right, so that tells me he is back in the cave area. Use these rocks that you see directly in front of me. I'm going to take out this blight real quick just so we can move with a little bit of pace if we need to. So the boss is in this back cave area. Again, with the cave area, you will have enemies up in there. Do not push up into the cave area. Just stay back. We are doing all our damage from deep. So like I said earlier in the video, I would suggest a scout rifle, but if you do prefer a hand cannon or a pulse rifle or a different primary, then definitely go with your favorite primary. But I would suggest a scout because a lot of time with the boss damage, he's going to be back in the cave for the kind of second quarter of the fight and the fourth quarter of the fight, and you will be doing a lot of your damage from deep. So after kind of those first two waves of enemies, he will then start to use his other attack, which is the Hayukit blinding attack. And if you do get hit by that, it does a lot of damage, obviously, and then you will also be blind for half a second. But just use these rocks to your advantage, the ones I'm on right now. Pop a couple shots. In his little blast, you will see it will hit the rocks sometimes, and it will just dissipate right away like that. But the majority of the time, he is going to be able to squeeze it by. And that same thing will happen when you are in that previous spot where he's just right to the right of us. That will happen there as well. So just pop a couple shots. Once he does the little Hayuket, I usually drop down or just move left or right to dodge it. A couple more shots, rinse and repeat that. And I did switch to Titan Smash. Titans, I did that just to have something else that does arc damage, whether I use my super or grenades for the fourth wave of ads. So we'll have to do a third wave and then the fourth wave. We'll have 2 Cabal guys with arc shields that are very, very tough and very annoying and can be very dangerous. Warlocks, I would stay on Self-Res, Void Bomb, or Sith Lord, whatever you're using. Hunters, I would just stay on Night Stalker, but if you can, switch to a Arc Heavy. I will be switching off of Galahorn to an Arc Rocket Launcher just to help deal with those 2 Cabal. I'm going to super fast forward here. All I'm doing, guys, is doing damage on boss. Once you do enough damage, the next wave of ads will spawn in. For this third wave of ads, you're going to have some goblins, you'll have a couple major goblins, and you're also going to have snipers. Now these snipers, they will be with the third wave of ads and with the last wave, the fourth wave of ads. So just don't forget about them. The fourth wave will have the 2 Cabal guys that are very, very annoying, and then a couple goblins as well. So you see there's just some goblins. Nothing too difficult, nothing overwhelming. Once you clear out these goblins that are kind of going to come to your little area, as you can see, they're running right to me. After you take them out, then feel free to move back down, and we're going to have snipers up near the cave where I was doing damage on boss, and then you're going to have snipers way across the room on the very front left end of the room. I'm just looking around to make sure, there's no goblins left, and with your radar off, just be careful. Don't be too glued in on your sight. Make sure you're looking around, and you want to take out these snipers across the way, because when you are dealing with the boss is back down here in the front right of the room by us, right to our right. So I do want to focus on taking out these snipers, because last thing you want to do is be doing damage on boss. Maybe you're a little low and they snipe you. They will shoot. If they see you, they will shoot all the way across this room. So you want to take them out, and then you will have the 2 snipers that you see there. They are up by the cave. Make sure to take them out as well, because they are obviously dangerous. And I also like to try and take out the major goblins, because sometimes they will move over here. Not the guys that are all the way there to that far front left of the room, but there will be some ads that kind of spawn middle. Well, I guess they are kind of coming this way. These guys that I'm shooting now, they are from the far left. I don't think they would come all the way over to me, but they would come down to this little middle area. And with the boss on our right, we are going to have to peek out behind cover. And if they are down in that middle area, they will be able to shoot you. So I would definitely suggest taking them out, just so you don't have to worry about the ads, just so you can focus on the boss and you don't have to worry about some cheap, stupid death from an ad shooting you across the room, or, a little goblin shooting you once or twice when you get low from getting hit by the boss. Doing the exact same thing. The boss is on the right as you would that first round. If you can get him to that spot where you can just see his head above this rock that's in front of me, get him to that spot. I am wasting all these rockets because I'm going to be switching to a arc rocket launcher here before I get to the fourth wave of ads, guys, and I will be popping a pack. Since he is able to use his little Hayuket blast now with this front right position, you might not get as much time. Do a couple shots, bail to the right. Just make sure not to get hit by that thing, because it does do quite a bit of damage. The boss sometimes will spam that attack. If he is spamming that attack, just hang back and just kind of hang out for a little while until he stops. Once he commences stopping the spamming of that attack, then creep back out from cover, get a couple shots, and just rinse and repeat that over and over. So I just switched to a arc rocket launcher. If you have access to something arc for a heavy or a sniper, I would definitely switch. As he blew up that nade, I would definitely switch, because these Cabal guys that come with the fourth wave are very annoying, and you want to take them out as quickly as possible. So you see here, you see how with the little Hayuket blast, if it hits that rock right there, it just dissipates. That will happen a lot, but then sometimes it will just go right past the rock like you saw right there, and then I get hit by it. So don't bank on it always hitting that rock. A lot of times it will squeeze by, and then a lot of times he'll just get back in the same position that you saw during the little first phase of the fight, where he just hangs out there and lets you shoot him in the head. Doing a quick fast forward again, super fast forward here. Did enough damage. Once you hear those ads come in, bail immediately. Okay, and I'm focused on taking out these goblins, because those goblins are going to shield the Cabal that come, the Taken Cabal. There's those 2 guys. So take out those goblins if you can. Take them out as fast as possible. The less guys that they have available to them to give them shields, the quicker you will be able to take these guys out. Now there's 2 of them. There's a major and there's a regular guy. So you see one of them is shielded and one of them's not. I'm floating a couple rockets just trying to take out some ads. I mean, Gallahorn will still work great, or Truth. Those will still work well. But with match game on, if you can switch to an arc heavy, I would. It's just going to help that little bit, and you'll be able to take these guys out faster. Now, they are going to be shooting the little ogre balls, and those are dangerous. Those are very, very deadly. If you get hit by those, I'm at 400 light, so if you're under light, you don't want to get hit by one of those. I get hit by one of them, and it takes like over half my health, and I'm at 400 light. So just be aware of that. They are very, very dangerous, guys. And I'm just trying to take these guys out as quickly as I can. Be careful not to waste rockets. I wasted a few. As you see, he's getting shielded. Wait for the goblins to come into view. These Cabal guys, they'll move towards you. They're not going to hide. So the guys that are shielding them, they will come into view as well. So I already took out the regular guy. Now we're finishing off the major. Okay, we took out the major. We're in the clear. That's the only kind of somewhat hard part of this fight. It's not hard, it's just dangerous. It's the most dangerous part of this entire fight. So we're in the clear now. Like I said, for the third wave and the fourth wave, you will have snipers. Don't forget about the snipers. Once you get the Cabal guys down, move up and then focus on taking out the snipers. Once we clear out all the ads, you get the snipers down, you get the goblins down. The boss is going to be in the back end of the room, back cave area. As you saw, a sniper shot just whizzed past my head. That guy missed, but they will shoot you from all the way over there. So if they can see you, they're going to be able to shoot you. There's the boss right there, giving us a clear little sight to do a couple sniper shots on him. But he will be in that back cave area for the last little bit of this fight. And just like you guys saw me did when he was in the cave during kind of the second phase of the fight, just use the room to your advantage. Use the rocks to your right. If you want to, you can move up the left side a little bit. You can kind of move, in the middle. He's going to kind of move a little bit more than he did the first time he was in the cave, like you saw when I was popping him with some sniper shots. But just move up to these rocks, doing the same thing. Again, he will have his little Hayuket blast, so be aware of that. Do a couple shots, fall back behind cover, and just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. If you can't see him, like I couldn't see him there in that first initial kind of front half of the cave, he will be in the back end where I was doing some sniper shots. Sometimes he will go over to the left side of the room as well. There he is right there. And don't worry about more ads. After that Cabal wave, that fourth wave of ads, there are no more ads that spawn in. I'm going to super fast forward to the end here just so you don't have to see me choke a bunch of sniper shots trying to finish off his last little sliver of health. And here we go. He is almost dead. He's almost dead, using our primary to finish him off. And there we go. We've done it. You've done it. A very, very easy solo this week. Definitely get in here if you're a lower light player, you don't have good guns, and maybe you've been holding off, guys, because it really is a easy strike. I'm going to fast forward to the reward here. So hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully it helps you get it done this week. Let's see what we get. Yep. Have a good one, guys. See ya.